Cybertruck may look like the oddball out right now, but in time it will absolutely be copied, and probably by a lot. Because legacy automakers need to see hard numbers, they need to see proof that a product or a design of any kind can be successful, it won't be for a while. I don't think any other traditional automaker is going to make something that looks similar to the Cybertruck before the Cybertruck actually comes out. I think that it will likely happen after the Cybertruck starts hitting city streets, they start delivering it to customers, and see how good of a product this ends up being. This is very much speculation. This is very much prediction. This is not really an extensive research project. I'm just suggesting that because the Cybertruck is the most heavily demanded electric vehicle of all time, due to its insanely good range, its practicality, and likely simplicity in manufacturing, once Tesla is able to pump these bad boys out of the Cybertruck factory somewhere in the central US, people are going to start buying them up, and it's going to be weird at first. Whenever you see them on the road, it's just not going to be what you're used to when it comes to just an iconic look for a pickup. But I think as the growth of electric vehicles increases exponentially and more people, especially in the mid-US, need pickup trucks for more practical things between the built-in air compressor and the lower cost of maintenance with it being electric, this is going to become a go-to option for a lot of people, despite the fact that this pickup may not look like their last one. But I would almost compare the initial release of the Cybertruck probably to something like the original iPhone. When that first came out, a lot of people had issues with it, you know? It was a big old display, there weren't really that many buttons on it, and I even recall my own father suggesting that that seems stupid because you have to hold a big touchscreen, a slab of glass, against the side of your face. How is that going to work for the, earpiece to microphone thing? But that launch proved to be kind of the base plate for how smartphones were going to be in the future, and I think a similar thing could happen with the Cybertruck. Maybe to not that same extent, maybe to not that same scale, but I still think that once other competitors realize this is a heavily in-demand vehicle, and just look online to see the different third-party modifications people are already willing to make, given very popular YouTube channels have been working on, miniature versions of the Cybertruck, and there's been tremendous demand for the Hot Wheels RC Cybertruck. There is already a huge and very present fan base for this vehicle, and they're not even in production yet. Once they come out, and once people start actually using them and realize, hey, having a stainless steel exoskeleton is really, really good for durability and longevity of the vehicle, having this lower cost of ownership, and one of my personal favorite features is the optional solar panel package that Elon Musk has talked about, so that if this thing is parked in the sun for hours a day, it can actually gain range back, which means there's all kinds of potential for the Cybertruck. Other competitors are going to see that success and realize, hey, we better tap into this because traditional pickup trucks aren't really going to cut it for people anymore. Sure, there's going to be an enthusiast market that's always going to be happy with their Dodge Ram or their Ford F-150. That's just what they grew up with. That's what they're comfortable with. They love the sound of that engine, and they love the smell of dumping gas into that thing and having terrible gas mileage and much higher ownership costs. But I don't think that's going to be the standard forever. Once people who just need vehicles to be as practical and as affordable as possible, the Cybertruck is going to start surpassing consumer demand than those traditional pickup trucks we see on the road today. So once that happens, and once other companies realize, well, if we try to make an electric F-150 or an electric Dodge Ram, and sure, maybe the range is pretty good, maybe the towing capability is okay, but it's not going to have that look to it. It's not going to have that recognizable, unmistakable Cybertruck iconic look that many of you don't like right now, but in time, I'm guessing it's going to become a new standard, and that's when you're going to see other automakers actually begin to make more low polygon looking pickup trucks that are more rugged and not really so focused on having a really pretty paint job and nice curves around the body of the truck itself. But just comparing the Cybertruck to something like the Rivian R1T, which is a great EV pickup, the majority of potential customers are already looking at the two and thinking, yeah, one of these things looks like a fun, family camper pickup, and the other one looks like the future. And if the future ends up being cheaper than the fun-friendly camper pickup, then I think that says something about the market, and a lot of people are going to go forward with it. That's why the Cybertruck has so much tremendous demand. Even if 50% of the reservations don't go through, this is still on track to be one of the most popular electric vehicles on the road once mass production is met, and you can absolutely expect that other automakers are going to try to do something similar to the Cybertruck and hopefully get that same meme response of the internet, because memes typically end up being good for business. But of course, what do I know? You shouldn't really trust what I have to say. I'm just a guy standing in my living room in sweatpants, but feel free to let me know what you think down in the comments below.